Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Sheila Beela, and I'm coming to you with another review of Tyler Perry's Sistas, Season 5, Episode 17, Looks Are Deceiving. The episode picks up where it left off, where Fatima is confronting Zack about the picture of Karen, quote unquote, kissing Zack, or she's saying that Zack kissed Karen, but we already know. So she's mad. Zack is getting heated. He was just like, who sent you the picture? This is a setup. She did this on purpose. That's the reason why she was being nice to me. And Fatima is saying she wouldn't do that. She didn't do that. Fatima is trying to express to him that Angela is the one that sent her the picture and not Karen. But Zack is not really trying to listen. He keeps telling Fatima to let me go, let me go. And she's like, well, she didn't do that. He was like, yes, she did. And Fatima was saying, so how did she do it? Why would she do that? And he was saying when he was leaving out the shop, she told him to come back, and Karen hugged him, and he was just trying to figure out why would she do that? It's a setup. And so Fatima pretty much just trying to wrap her mind around it. Zack is mad. Zack is heated. Zack is like, let me go, let me go. Fatima said, no, I'm not letting you go. I need you to talk to me. And Zack said, when you were upset, you told me to let you go. And I did. And I need you to do the same for me. So, child, we finna get ready to see what Zack doing. All right. Back over at Sabrina's house, Bio comes by, and Sabrina is trying to pretty much get her thoughts together, her words together on how she's going to get ready to ask Bio for this money. So Bio come in the house, child, they get to exchanging pleasantries, talking about, oh, you look nice, you look nice. He talking about she look like the women back in his country, child. He always bringing up his country. Anyway, so as they sit down, Bio just like, well, I haven't heard from you in a while. I haven't spoken to you. What's been going on? And she said, well, you haven't spoken to me in a while because a lot has been going on. She said, she ended up getting in trouble. She ended up going to jail for a bank robbery. He's like, I know you wouldn't do that. She was like, I know. He said, you're a good person. She said, I know. And then she gave him the whole rundown about that. And she also gave him the rundown about Maurice. And that was the reason why she wanted Bio to come over. So she told him the whole backstory about Maurice and Q, and Q was actually the one that robbed the bank, and that is why she needed the money, because it's $1.5 million. And Bio just looking at her like, look, I ain't talked to you in how long? And I know you got your problems, but now you want to call me because you think I got $1.5 million to get a Q? And then he said, well, because he said that Q was a bad person. He said that Maurice was a bad person because he said back in his country, they believe that he said something about dating another man. And Sabrina said, you're homophobic. He was like, what? Because Sabrina didn't let him finish. And Bio began to say, yeah, Maurice dated another man, but he dated a man that robbed a bank, and a good person wouldn't date a guy that robbed a bank. I'm like, well, how would a good person know if another person ran around here robbing banks? I mean, well, Maurice did know that Q robbed the bank, but I mean, you just don't, when you first meet people, you just don't know if they bank robbers. I mean, I don't know. But once he said that, then Sabrina was just kind of looking at him like, oh, okay, well, would you be able to help? And he was just like, I don't know Maurice. Duh, Sabrina. He don't know him. And then he said, well, and if I give him my money, what makes you think that he will run? Sabrina over there trying to do the tears. She's trying to cry. And she's like, well, he's not going to do that. But Bio was still like, I'm sorry, but my answer is going to have to be no. And she was just like, I understand. And then he said, but can I still take you on a date? I was like, Negro, you going to give her $1.5 million? Anyway, she was like, no, she would love to go on a date with him, but not right now. She got to get all this other stuff situated. So then he gets up to leave, and then as he's leaving, dun 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 dun, here's Calvin. He's about to knock on the door. So Calvin, looking with his lip poked out, looking at Bio, and Bio was like, okay. Bio said hi and goodbye. And that was it. I don't blame Bio. You ain't finna have me in here giving you $1.5 million and I ain't seen you in how long. I ain't talked to you in how long. And just because you trust your friend, I don't know your friend. Sabrina, really? I guess. Child, he said no. But do y'all think? I don't know. So, Calvin comes in. He didn't call. Sabrina just like, you just gonna pop over. You didn't call. He was just like, well, yeah. I mean, y'all been talking about Maurice and what's going on. So I guess he thought that y'all was friends like that. So he says, yeah, but he talked to Maurice and she was like, okay, what'd he say? You know, of course, he has to make bail. He has to have everything in cash. And then Calvin is just like, well, I only got 20,000. Sabrina says she got 87. And he said all this has to be in cash. And then he says that his daddy can put his house up, but they're not taking your daddy house. And is your daddy house worth $1.5 million? Can you sell it real quick, like a cash buyer, investment property, or somebody to get the money on next day? Child, anyway. So, you know, they was like, well, nah, it has to be cash. And so then he was like, I wish he asked like, I wonder where is Q in this whole situation. And nobody knows where Q is. So come to find out, Q then got Maurice's car riding around. And then he parked it in front of the apartment where he stays so that ankle monitor won't go off. And he sleep in it. So Child Q found a home inside of Maurice's car. And the plot thickens. That's why he trying to get down at the Danni house, because he needs somewhere to stay. He trying to get up at the car. But anyway, child, this is getting too messy. Andy's back at the office and she's packing up, getting ready to go. So while she's about to leave, Robin comes in and he says he wants to thank her again. Child, Robin, how many times you gonna thank this girl? Anyway, and she was just like, thank you, or whatever. So they talk or whatever. And then he asks her, you know, can I take you out to have dinner? And she's just like, no, she pretty much still wants to keep it professional. And he's just like, yeah, you know, we're going to keep it professional. And then he said, he brings up that he has the meeting tomorrow, you know, with, Gary and Hayden. And Andy says, you know, can you wait till I get there? Cause I want to see the look on their faces. I'm like, girl, whose side you on? Are you on Gary's side or are you on Robin's side? Anyway, so he was just like, okay, yeah, whatever. And then, he still brings up the fact like, okay, well, I'm going to be at the Stingray. Can you at least meet me over there? You know, and she says she'll think about it. And he brings up his keys, talking about, well, we can ride together. I'm like, Robin is very, very persistent when it comes to Andy, but Andy likes it. So I guess they're going to end up meeting up later for dinner. And, yeah. So, yeah. Sharon, when I tell you I'm so sick of Danni and Preston, you know how they say, just go ahead and pee or get off the pot. Just do something. Okay, so it starts out Preston and her cooking, child, macaroni, cheese, steak, green beans. I don't know what he cooked. I just made that up. Anyway, so Danni, she walk in the house, kicking her shoes off. She had a long day work. And she come in, sit down, and you cook. Yeah, I cook. I smell it out. And you know, all that stuff. Then Preston jumps right into it. Danni, why you don't want to marry me? And she was just like, she don't want to be married, you know? And he was just like, what is it? You don't love me? You don't love me? And she said, well, I like you. I mean, I like you a lot. But he said, oh, that's what I thought. You don't love me. And she said, well, I love you, but not the way you want me to love you. I mean, yeah. And Danny's whole thing is like, you're not asking the right questions. You know, you're so focused on getting married. You're not asking the questions that I believe she needs for him to understand her. Because she always, you're not asking the right questions. Anyway. And so he's just like, well, he wants to be married to her and all of that. And she brings up, she says that she wants to be herself. She wants to be free. You know, she wants to be her full authentic self, whatever that means. And he's just looking at her like, what does that mean? You know? And so then she brings up, since I don't want to marry you, she outright said no, she doesn't want to be married. And then she brings up Mindy. And he was just like, oh, okay. So, she said, won't you go ahead and go? So you're going to go ask Mindy to marry you? And he was like, nah, he's not going to do that. And then he said, Karen's like, well, I know if I don't marry you, then you're going to go ask Mindy. And he said, well, Mindy is not you, because he still wants to marry. Danni. And so Danni just like, so Danni just pretty much trying to understand, let him know she's not ready to be married. And they really just need to get to know each other. And Preston is very, very adamant, because he's saying there is nobody else out there for him. He searched around, and Danni is the one that he wants, but Danni is not reciprocating the same thing. And I don't know if I feel sorry for Preston or I feel sorry for Danni. It's just almost like they need to meet in the middle, because it's like there is really no medium between the two. It's either yes or no, hot or cold. And that's very not good. And so Preston said, well, pretty much, if you're not going to marry me, I'm just going to leave out in the morning, going back home. And she was just, Danni just looking at him like, okay, so you really gonna leave? He was just like, yeah, he didn't even stay to eat dinner. He just ended up leaving. And so he tried to kind of hug her goodbye and tried to kiss her on her forehead or whatever, but she wouldn't turn her body to him. So he was just kind of on her side, like her shoulder was like in his neck. And it's almost like Danni didn't want him to go. So I'm like, Danni, this relationship is draining. Pretty much it's draining. It's long-winded and it's draining. It's almost like tired and through. So I just don't hope she don't bring Q over her house. Tyler, you better not let Q come in this girl's house. That's all. Anyway, Preston League at the door, and Danni over there looking like, woe is me almost. Anyway. Zack done rolled down to the Karen hair mastery, and he looking for Karen because he is mad. He get in there, he see an empty shop. He like, Pam, huh? You know how she do. Where is Karen? Gone. And Zack talking about some gone. I said, Zack, please don't be making fun of this girl talking. She talking about not you trying to make fun of the way I talk. Either way. So he was just like, where's she at? Who took this picture of me? And Pam looking like, picture? What you talking about? Where is Karen? Where is Karen? Talking about she gone. And he said, call her. And she said, you call her. He said, I've been calling her, but she ain't answering the phone. He wants Pam to call. Pam said she ain't calling. Zack done picked up these people's phone down at the mastery and called Karen on the phone. So he calling Karen, this Karen on the phone. He calling Karen. He just like, Karen, where you at? Because he mad. And she was, before he called her, Pam said that she was out with her man and all that stuff. And he was like, so you do know where she is. So he ended up calling from the phone. And so Karen picked up the phone. Karen, where you at? She said, I'm out to dinner at the Stingray. He said he finna come by there. He also mentions the picture. Karen just like, what you talking about? Like, what picture? So I don't know. She sounded very convincing to me. But he went back and hung up the phone. Karen told him where he was. She said she was going to be over there. And he gets off the phone. So now Pam and Karen, they on the phone. They exchanging words. What he wants. She talking about, girl, he made. He talking about some picture. You enjoy your date. But Pam telling her too, run, girl, run. He mad, girl, run. I was thinking that too. I said, Zack is real mad, Karen. You might need to duck for cover. But anyway, she said she ain't worried about it because she don't know what he talking about. She good. She ain't gonna let that spoil her day. So they went and got off the phone. So he over there. Karen is talking to Aaron. Aaron, he's the concerned gentleman. So everything okay? And she was kind of sitting back and she was looking. She was just like, yeah. But then she says, well, Zack may be on his way over here. And he was like, for what? And she was just like, I don't know. Something about a picture. He seemed real mad though. And so Aaron is like, so do we need to leave? Do we need to leave? And she was like, no, I'm good. I ain't worried about it. I mean, I'm not going to, she pretty much like she ain't worried about it. And Aaron keeps saying maybe we need to leave because I don't need nobody to stress you out or And she was like, no, I'm good. But he did seem pretty mad though. But she didn't seem worried. So she sit back and then she said, well, she gonna eat the fish. She gonna order fish. So I mean, in my head, Karen seems like she didn't have nothing to do with it. But I don't know. I said y'all I was 75-50. No, I was 75-25, 75% thinking that Karen didn't have nothing to do with it. So we gonna find out, child, when Zack get up in there hollering and screaming in front of all them folks. So yeah, I'm actually watching this as like the scene goes, and I'm just talking about them after I see the scene. But anyway, child, this almost made me mad because I just said that she better not invite Q over to her house. Now I don't know if she's gonna be Q, but the way she talking reckless. So she didn't call Andy on the phone, right? Then didn't call Andy on the phone talking about she upset about the whole Preston situation. Preston asking him to her to marry him and all of this stuff. And Andy just like, what? To marry you? And she was just like, yeah. And she said she can't marry him and all this stuff. Then she sits up there and say, she just want to get laid to not think about it. And Andy is just then we not having another situation. What happened to the contender number 5, Jonah. We not having another one of them situations. So don't invite nobody else to your house. Like, what is going on with you, Danni? And then he said, well, I just don't want to think about it. I just don't want to, I'm like, girl. So is this what you do now? See, this is how Danni is mentally unstable when it comes to men. And she doesn't know how to express her feelings. I'm just like, Tyler, can you please give her the concept of communication? Just being authentic, an authentic communicator. Not her. I don't even think she know what her authentic self is. If she stated that, what, that made me mad. Anyway, Danni tried to talking to her and say, don't do nothing stupid like that, child. You need to. She said she finna go over Sabrina's house. Just go over Sabrina's house and don't go over nobody else's house. Don't you see Q on the way to Sabrina's house? Child, that better not happen. Anyway, so they get off the phone. And when they get off the phone, what's his name? Robin walks up to Andy and he tells her that he's over there at the table. They're going to get something to drink. And so while he goes over there, she sees Karen and Aaron sitting down. She goes over there to say hi. Apparently, you know what? It's like when one go to a restaurant, they all go to a restaurant. They all just end up seeing each other at the same restaurant. So now everybody at the steam break. So Andy walks over to Karen. She's like, oh, I didn't know you were coming out. I'm surprised to see you here. And they exchange, words or whatever. And Karen gives Andy the papers to fill out. She said she already signed them. Andy said, so you signed them without even reading them before you gave them to me? You signed them? And she was just like, yeah. And so Andy said that she's going over there to the bar to have one drink, and then she will go over everything then, and she'll talk to her about it then. So, Karen's like, okay. So Andy walks off. So when Andy walks off, Karen gets up and she goes to Andy. And she's like, Zack called her and he's very upset and he's on his way over here. And Andy looking at her like, oh, okay, like, why is he upset? Karen automatically thinks that Andy knows why Zack is upset. First of all, Andy don't even talk to Zack like that. The only person she talked to is Fatima. So right out the bat, she wouldn't think about that whole picture situation. And I don't understand why Karen just wouldn't say he's upset about some picture or something. Then that probably would have sparked a light bulb in Andy's head. And she probably would have said something about it. But of course, Karen jumped to conclusions and she thinks that Andy is lying. Andy knows more than what she know. And Andy is like, if I knew, I would tell you, but I don't know nothing. And then Karen says, oh, so is that why you here? You knew that I was here? And she was like, girl, I didn't know you was going to be here. How would I even know you was going to be here? I ain't even talked to you. You didn't tell me that you were going to be here, you know? And Andy is like, I'm here with Robin. Robin asked me to come here. And she said, oh, Robin, the man that you mad at. But Karen, if you really understood what Robin did for Andy, then you wouldn't be talking all this, what you talking. Because you fail to realize that Robin gave this girl $1.5 million. And he also been helping her with Maurice's case. So she said, I'm here for a thank you drink. You know, and she said, after I had this drink, I'll talk to you about it later. And Andy reassures her, like, I don't know what you're talking about. You go over there, you have dinner with your man, you have your good night. We'll talk about this later. Karen's still in her feelings. She like, well, if Zack come over here, you know, acting up, then I'm gonna need you to come over there and I guess assist. But girl, ain't nothing Andy can do but call the police. Scream, stop, Zack, stop. Anyway, child, Karen, get it together. Everybody ain't against you, girl. Everybody ain't against you. Anyway. Now, after Karen and Andy start talking, finish their conversation, Andy go ahead and meet Robin at the bar. So they sit down and, you know, they talk or whatever. But she really doesn't sit down that long until she makes a phone call to Fatima. And she's just like, how are you? And I just thought that was kind of weird for her just to call Fatima. Anyway, so Fatima's like, I'm good, you know, what's up? And Andy said, did you tell Zack? And she said, well, yeah, I did confront him. And, you know, she talked about him being upset. And then it dawns on Andy that she had talked to Karen, and Karen said that Zack is on her way up here to the Stingray. And she said that Karen was like, he was very upset. And so Fatima like, what? He coming up there to the Stingray. So, child, this finna be one big old mess. I guess everybody gonna end up at the Stingray at the end of the day. So after they get out the phone, then Robin and Andy, they are toasting to him keeping his company and them helping each other. And then he tells Andy that he couldn't have done it without her. And she said she knows she couldn't. He couldn't. And he was saying that she was being arrogant. And that was pretty much it. Now, Fatima back at the house with Messy Angela. And Angela want to be in a business, child. So what? And Fatima said he left. Angela said he just left. Talking about, yeah, he got mad. He left. He going to confront Karen. And Angela talking about, do you think that's a good idea? Fatima said, no, I don't. And Angela, now she want to feel guilty, talking about I should never sent you the picture. And then, but Fatima talking about, well, you did right. It's cool. And Angela saying, well, but you went all this drama. But you like drama though, Angela. It's okay. And so, Angela then says, so did he ever confess to kissing her? And Fatima said, no, it wasn't. No, he didn't say it was a kiss. He said it was just a hug, but he just left out. He was real upset. Angela talking about she's sorry. And then Fatima said, well, you know, she ain't putting up with no mess. She ain't putting up with no BS. She said, you know, all the stuff that she went through in her past. Angela said, but you know, you said that Zack is different. She was just like, he is, but you know, I'm still not going to be putting up with no mess. And then, he said that Zack didn't really get a chance to tell her the full story because he left upset. And Angela said, so, Fatima asked Angela, so are you sure that girl didn't know Karen? Angela said, nah, she doesn't. I mean, unless she lied, but nah, she doesn't. And so Fatima said, do you trust her? Fatima, I always say, do you trust her? Fatima, why don't you say, can you call her on the phone so I can ask her some questions myself instead of going through you, Angela? And then I really know for sure and trust my own judgment instead of words that are coming out your mouth, Angela. Fatima, why don't you say that? But anyway, yeah. So Angela said, well, I don't think that she'll do something like that. And then Fatima said, do you think Karen will do something like that? And then Fatima like, you know what? I really don't even know Karen. I don't think I know is that girl be doing some crazy stuff. And then Fatima talking about it's okay. They talking about it's okay. But then Fatima like, nah, it ain't okay. So Angela just like, so what you gonna do? Fatima said, I ain't doing nothing. I'm just gonna sit right here. And then she get up, would grab her bag, to my girl, I'm finna go down there to the steam plant. Angela talking about, nuh-uh, and then Angela say, well, I'ma drive. Girl, you know you ain't gonna sit there. You know you gonna drive. You know you want to see what's finna go on with your messy self. So back over at Sabrina's house, Calvin gets the phone call from Maurice. Maurice is upset. He is. As he, in true Maurice fashion, he yelling on the phone, talking about, did y'all come up with something? And Sabrina and Calvin, they just saying that they ask people. And then this the part that was dumb, because I said at the same time Maurice said it. When she said, I asked Bio, and then he's like, what did she say? What did he say? And she talking about, he said no. I'm like, why would you even bring that up? And as soon as I was saying, why would you even bring that up? Maurice was like, why would you even bring that up? Oh my God, Maurice can't take it. Maurice can't take it. He like, y'all got to get me out of jail. You know what I'm saying? I can't take it in here. And Sabrina is just trying to reassure him that we trying to figure something out. We working on it. And they ask him these dumb questions like, so what are you about to do? He told me he finna go to the pool, more in true Maurice fashion. But whatever they need to do, they need to figure out now, because just like Sabrina said, that she thinks that Maurice is going to break, Maurice going to do something. I was just like, Maurice acting like he dang near suicidal, because when he was getting out that phone, he kept saying, goodbye. I say, ooh, child, goodbye. Anyway, he just trying to figure out his life, because he can't get up out of there, and he tired of being in there. And he said he gonna figure something out himself. So when Calvin and them, they get off the phone, that's when Danni comes over, and Calvin ends up leaving. And so Danni over there, and Danni is, I guess, in her feelings, and Sabrina's still in her feelings. And Sabrina is telling Danni about the whole Maurice situation, that they can't help. He asked Bio, because she said, did you ask? Danni, gotta be funny. And she was like, don't do that, But anyway, he said no. And Danni is really just trying to tell Sabrina, there's really nothing you can do. You don't have the money, you and Calvin come together, y'all come together with pennies. But there is nothing that you could do. You just gonna have to, I guess, leave it alone at this point. And she was saying that, it's Maurice's fault that y'all are in there. But Sabrina just feels so bad because there's her friend and she's out of jail. And Sabrina is just like, I wish that there is something that I can do. I'm like, there is something you can do. The only thing Tyler Perry has to do is just say, if it wasn't for Q or Quentin or whatever, they can ring an alarm in Danny's mind and say, oh, I know him. You know what? We can set Q up to where he can confess, and maybe we can get it on tape or whatever and show it to get Maurice out of jail. But since nobody is mentioning Q's name at this point, Danni doesn't know, because at the end of the day, like they said earlier, they was looking to see where Q was. They can't find him nowhere. But he works down there at the airport with Danni. Nobody just won't say his name. But, at the end of the day, Danni, she hides a kite. Sabrina looking at Danni, asks her, how are you? She said, I'm very high. They gonna drink, smoke, and be merry. Marry. Danni said they can come too. So Sabrina, she finna get high. They gonna smoke their troubles away tonight. All right, that's pretty much that. Now, the moment we have been waiting for, the whole confrontation between Zack, Karen, and Aaron. Okay, Zack is 38. Don't mess around and get 38. Zack is 38. Hot. He's so hot, that red shirt is on fire. You hear me? And it's not a coincidence that he got on the red and Karen got on the red. Did Fatima have on red too? Child, I don't know. She got there late. Angela wasn't driving fast enough. Because my whole thing when I was looking at this, I said, where's Angela and Fatima? See, that's how I know Angela messy. She probably was driving slow on purpose because she wanted everybody to be fighting. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So Zack, he come in there. Karen, I got one question. Tell me, why would you have someone to take a picture of me? And Karen just like, what are you talking about? I didn't have nobody to take a picture of you. She said, yes, you did. Why did you have somebody to take a picture of me? Karen just sitting up there like, I don't know what you're talking about, Zack. You need to calm down. And so while he's heated, I'm like, so ain't nobody looking. Now the little white lady behind them, she didn't even look over that way. Zack was loud. And so while he's talking extremely loud, looking at Karen, Aaron, he interjects. He was like, you need to calm down, Zack. You need to calm down. And Zack like, you need to get your corny hands off me, you all corny, ninjas. That's what he said, but he didn't say ninja. Y'all know what he said. And so then Aaron is just like, no, you need to calm down. Don't need to be, stressing her out. And Karen over there yelling like, Zack, I don't know what you're talking about. And Aaron like, you need to calm down. And Zack is like, somebody gonna give me some answers. So it's a lot of commotion happening at the same time. And so Aaron just gets to the point to like, you know what, Karen, we're finna go. At first, Karen wasn't ready to leave, but then she said, you know what, we're finna go. I'm agreeing with you. We finna go. So as Karen was getting her stuff to get ready to go, why Zack done put his hands on Karen? I said, Zack, don't touch her. I was just saying the whole time, don't touch her. But he did touch her. So when he touches Karen, Aaron touches Zack, and Zack done touch Aaron. So now they over there tussling. And then it says, the next time on Sistas. I said, boy, I tell you, I knew they was going to fight. I knew they was going to fight. You know what I'm saying? Because Zack was just too mad. Zack was entirely too mad. And y'all may not believe me. I still don't think Karen had nothing to do with it. I'm telling y'all, I don't think she did, because she just seemed she just like, I don't even understand why you mad. And Zack like, well, you was being nice to me. That's the reason why you was being nice to me, because you trying to set me up. Karen like, no, she thought she was being nice to be nice. But anyway, y'all, we gonna see it next time on Sistas. So, leave it in the comments. Do y'all still think that Karen had something to do with it? I know y'all don't like her. I mean, I think Tyler trying to write her different. But do y'all still think that Karen got something to do with it? Anyway, leave it down in the comments, y'all. This Sheila be the like, comment, and subscribe. If you got anything out of my content, if you laughed a little bit, giggled a little bit, go ahead, press the like button, press the subscribe button. On my way to 3,000, and I am going to do like my thoughts and predictions for the next episode. So that'll be coming relatively soon. And y'all have a great day. I know I probably forgot a lot. I ad-lib a lot. You know what I'm saying? I add my own every twist on this whole show. But anyway, that's just what I do. Y'all, this is Sheila Bila. Try to put a hand on my heart. Y'all have a great day. Bye.